everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. As some of you may know, I have been on a path to really adopt a more simplified and intentional life, where I've been working hard on getting rid of the excess, heal my relationship with my spending habits, and really just be more content with being my true, authentic self and moving away from comparison, keeping up with the Joneses, and overconsumption of material goods. But today I want to talk to you about 20 things that I no longer purchase, because I've been really trying to get rid of the excess in my life to get more peace and more money in my bank account. So I wanted to share with you, as a reflective exercise, some things that I have successfully eliminated from my life, just to help you think and get some ideas that you can apply to your own life. I must say that I see a lot of pieces that look so cute on other girls, or I see them online and I think, wow, that looks so good on her. So I try it on myself, and I often find that I'm disappointed by the trendy clothing pieces that I purchase. It's really just a learning experience, trying it out and just saying, okay, that didn't work for me, and letting it go. I know clearance items, they feel like such a big score, and it's so tempting just to take a little stroll over and go check the clearance section, because sometimes it can feel like a big win when we find something that feels like such a good deal. But for me, this definitely falls under the category of stuff that I don't actually need and an impulse buy. They're so convenient and they're really not that expensive. But honestly, I just don't feel good about purchasing them just to throw them away and add to the throwaway culture. I find that using Tupperware is a really good way to store food. You can take it with you, just pack it in your lunchbox. It may cost more upfront, but in the end, I think it does save money as long as you buy good quality Tupperware and really take care of it. I have to be honest, I absolutely love having like a nice physical book to sit down and read. I am the type of person that I love taking notes in my notebook and really just immersing into the material. But lately, I have not added to my book collection at all. Instead, I often listen to Audible and just have them read to me. I really enjoy it. I get to have somebody read to me while I'm relaxing in the bathtub or doing cleaning or working in my craft room. It's really relaxing, and also we really enjoy going to the library lately. It's a lot of fun. I get to take the kids and they get to pick out a book too. If you're like me, then you get locked into a lot of subscriptions. You know, you want to try out different app features, you want to watch something on different streaming devices, and you completely forget that you sign up for these subscription services. And at the end of the day, we end up spending a lot of unnecessary money for things that we don't use. Also, I used to get subscription boxes like BoxyCharm delivered to my door on a regular basis one time every month, just because I felt like it was a present to myself. But I actually ended up accumulating a lot of unnecessary items that I didn't need or use or even want, for that matter. I must admit, this one was a really hard one for me, because I am somebody who really enjoys just having a nice, warm, comforting beverage to sip on when I go shopping or I'm out running errands, but I think it's more of an emotional attachment than anything. And I really just can't justify spending $5 to $7 on one drink. So I've been making it a point just to make my drinks at home, and then I can take them with me when I go somewhere for a way better price and way less waste. When I was younger, I used to think that it was so fun to just stroll through Macy's out with the girls, trying out different perfume samples, and then this would ultimately lead me to purchase them. But at the end of the day, I was spending a lot of unnecessary money and creating a lot of clutter within my home. These days, I definitely reach for a more simplified means of smelling nice. I just take some coconut oil and some essential oils, and I either put it on my hair or rub it on my palms, and it smells really good, and I think that it's way healthier. Simplifying my cleaning supplies has been a game changer. I've been on a big path to just adopt more healthy practices within my home, which means eliminating unnecessary chemicals from my skincare, beauty products, and my cleaning products as well. So with that being said, I just use white vinegar, baking soda, and some essential oil. I like the lavender or tea tree, which tea tree actually has antifungal, antibacterial properties as well. And I just spray it and it works on almost every surface. You don't have to worry about any kind of artificial fragrances or chemicals that you don't want in your home. And it saves on so much money and excess clutter. I think we've all fallen victim to wanting to add new accessories and jewelry to our wardrobe, especially when we're buying a new outfit or we have an event to go to. We feel like we need to really accessorize it correctly because we're so worried about what other people are gonna think or if we're gonna look appropriate for the occasion. But I used to buy very cheap jewelry that ultimately would break very quickly or would change color. So I really just focus on buying pieces that go with almost anything very neutral and simplistic and is better quality, made out of real metals instead of the cheaper metals that just don't last as long. I absolutely love plants, but I must admit I kill a lot of plants. I recently got a Venus flytrap and an ivy plant that I was so excited to bring home, but I didn't research how to take care of them, and within a week and a half they were both dead. So it's not that I say buying plants is bad, because I love buying plants, but the next time I do buy a plant, I'm gonna make sure that I take the time to actually educate myself and research on it so I know how to take care of it, because there's nothing worse than bringing home a little plant baby and watching it die before your eyes. As a mom, I used to think my kids needed tons of toys to be happy or to label myself as a good parent, but at the end of the day, I realized that the excess amount of toys was actually creating a lot of chaos for me and the kids. But I have found that not having an excess amount of toys really helps my kids enjoy the toys that they do have. They take way better care of them, they appreciate them so much more, and they really seem to immerse themselves in the toys that they do have. So stepping away from this idea that I always need to be buying them toys in order for them to be happy or to label myself as like a good parent. I don't think it's wrong to buy crafts, but I do think sometimes we jump into stuff out of impulse, or it seems like such a good idea at the time, and we never actually take the time to fully research and be realistic with our time and the expenses of taking up that craft, and we can have the tendency to stretch ourselves too thin, and ultimately it can make us feel like we failed at something when we spent the money but we just aren't enjoying it, we don't have the time for it, or we lose interest. I used to be obsessed with making our home perfect, Pinterest and searching stores for the best decor items to make my home feel perfect the way that I envisioned. But I noticed that I was spending a lot of time and money doing this, and I would end up with a lot of stuff that I really didn't know what to do with, or I found was unnecessary to have within our home. So now, instead of just impulsively buying decor items, I take my time and I make sure that I'm actually going to have a purpose for it, or I make it a point to repurpose or buy things secondhand rather than brand new. I can proudly say that I haven't added to my holiday decor stash in about 3 years now. I used to be the girl at Hobby Lobby lined up to go buy the newest holiday decor items, so excited to make everything feel so warm and cozy for me and my family. But now I just have a few pieces that I really love. They're very neutral and they go with almost anything. So for holidays, I really just try to keep it neutral, colors that I'm not going to get tired of, and things that are more timeless. I love experimenting in the kitchen, but I do think that sometimes we have a tendency to purchase things that are not necessary for us to be able to cook or bake with successfully. For me, I have been guilty of buying things because they seemed like such a good idea at the time, or I thought I was going to get into something, but at the end of the day, it didn't end up sticking. So it's okay to go through and declutter it once we realize that it's not adding value to our life. I do have a few kitchen staples that I use every single day, and that is my blender and my juicer. These are items that I cannot live without because I use them every single day and they add so much value to my life. They make them so cute, which is why I think it is so hard to say no to them. Sometimes they come in so many different cute sayings and different colors and designs, and you always think that you need to add to your collection because, I don't know, it's just something really fun to purchase. But I did find that I was buying in excessive amounts and they can get pretty expensive. My fantasy self always envisioned this girl who was so creative and needed to have all this stationery items, stickers, beautiful pens, just the works. But when it comes down to it, I am actually a very basic, simple person. I'm pretty just to the point, and I don't like all the excess frou-frou stuff. And I found that I can save on so much money and clutter by just being more content with accepting that I don't need all that stuff to be creative or productive. There's nothing wrong with purchasing beauty care products, self-care products, but I do think sometimes it can become really excessive when we just have this deep need, like we're hunting for that perfect thing to change the way we feel about ourselves or make our life better. And sometimes we can just impulsively make purchases without taking the time to research, read reviews, and make sure that it aligns with what we actually want for ourselves. Me, as somebody who gets migraines, I have to be extremely intentional about anything I bring within my home or put on my body. So for me, adopting a more simplified, clean beauty and self-care regimen has been absolutely vital for my overall health. I have one purse that I've been using for the past 3 years. It's just a white crossbody bag. It holds everything that I need. It's neutral. It goes with all of my outfits, and it's very practical, very easy to grab. I've never been somebody who has ever felt the need to buy the latest technologies or keep up with the latest technology trends. I just can't see spending that much money on brand new items, and I really like to utilize things until they are broken, like the screen is cracked or it just doesn't fit my needs anymore. I try to get as much use out of each thing that I do own. So I make it a point to really take good care of my stuff. I keep my computer at my desk most of the time. I put my camera back in its case when I'm done with it, and I keep my phone out of reach, not in my pocket or thrown around, so that way they last me and I can have them for a very long time without any kind of damage. I have been very guilty about this in the past, financing things that I couldn't necessarily afford. They have so many great financing options and credit cards these days to where it seems so appealing to make purchases that we can't afford up front. But I've been making it a point to forego things that I can't afford just because I can afford the payment. Doesn't mean that I should or that it's going to add the value to my life that I had hoped for. A lot of these items were things that I didn't need. I ended up just going above my means because I had this very idealistic way about me where I wanted things to come off a certain way to other people, and I wanted to feel good about the stuff that I owned. But it's not stuff that was necessary. Of course, there are exceptions to this, like if our furnace goes out or if we have an emergency, there are going to be times that we need to finance things that we can't necessarily afford. I think it's just finding that balance between what is necessity and what is just a desire that maybe we just don't need right now. So I want to say thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that it added some kind of value to your life. I hope you got some ideas that can help you think about some things that you can go through and eliminate from your life to get some money back in your pocket, get some more peace and clarity within your mind and your home. I want to say thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you liked it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And I would absolutely love to have you subscribe to my channel. On this channel, I talk about slow living and minimalism, and I have a lot of fun videos planned. I'm going to be doing a low buy challenge this year, starting in January of 2024. So if you would like to follow along with me and just watch this whole experience, I'm going to be documenting it, talking about it, and just sharing what I'm going to be doing throughout this whole journey. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I would love to have you join me, and please take care until my next video.